winds up spinning due to that incident. It was originally ruled a penalty. It was overturned. I think that's hogwash. We need to keep that penalty.
Guys, welcome back to Stahl Racing Vlog. We are out here for a doubleheader weekend. It's Saturday, so they've got a pre-final, final, and Ben's racing. So we are gonna have a ton of race footage coming at you. So buckle in and let's get into it. Here on a fall day, just a beautiful day, and out for the morning walk with one of my unsung heroes. She doesn't get on camera as much as her older cousin, but this is Ben's daughter, my youngest grandbaby, my only granddaughter, Indy. So with that, we are here at the granddaughters of go-kart tracks, Newcastle Motorsports Park.
The morning walk with Dad.
And you know, this isn't going to be a long one. Finley's told me that my morning walks are too long, but I just wanted to give this little girl, she is a complete joy. Give her a little spotlight. Say, Grandpa. Say anything. Yeah, baby. All right, that'll do it.
Death, taxes, and Ben starting on the front row after not having raced for basically a decade. You know, those are the unavoidable things in life. Ben is a qualifying mastermind. He plays the game very well. If there was like a chess version of this, I would be Magnus Carlsen. That's the comparison people draw when they watch me play the qualifying game. But qualify second, but I'm able to pass Logan here going into turn 3 and jump out to the lead. The issue was, and I knew this immediately, that I was just so freaking, like, I just had no front grip. I was so problemed with understeer. You could kind of see it there, and you'll see it in a second. Like, I was fighting hard to keep that thing on track. The issue is to be fast. I could not fight as much as I was. I would lose a lot of momentum coming out of corners because I just was about to go off track. So I get passed by Logan and Eli. Jamie's behind me. He pokes down. I'm not in any position to contest this. I'm just hoping to stay on his bumper and maybe we can catch him. And over the next couple laps, I think we did pull in ever so slightly. But then ultimately in this scoreboard corner, I just go off, and I had been fighting it every lap. I knew it would catch up to me, and here, even in a 6-lap stint, it does catch up to me. AJ goes to the inside, going down to 70. He gets that position, and I ultimately finish in 5th. So definitely not the finish I wanted. Knew I wanted to make a couple changes, like the front bar, give me a little bit more stability in the front, and hopefully for the final, we'll have something to push up and be with the leaders rather than getting passed by them. This is the most boring race in the history of time. Started first in heavy, and I mentioned that I was having handling issues at the CIK Pre-Final. They were still here to a degree in the heavy race, but they were way lesser. So this race went first, and since I have way more weight on the kart, it was actually all right to drive. Like, it wasn't horrible like it was in CIK where I'm just missing corners, almost driving off track. It was serviceable. I'm able to lead wire to wire and win the thing. It was never contested. Shout out to Cody for just pushing me and really covering up some of my mistakes. He did an awesome job, but there was nothing really here. This whole race was just me leading, and Cody never really decided to challenge. And I was like, hey, let's just run it back for the finals. But could kind of tell there was maybe a little something that I wanted more in the kart. I just thought it would come in as the day got warmer, and it just did not. So that's where we made the change, and we're setting up first for the pre-final, or for the final rather.
So I'm rolling off third here in Super Heavy, right behind Ben. It was awesome to have Ben back this weekend. It makes me so happy. I mean, honestly, it was like one of the main reasons we got into racing was to race with each other. So anytime he comes out, it's a good day. And he put it on pole. And I heard a lot about it, and I'm sure you guys have as well. So the start doesn't go super well for me. I fall back to fourth. And the kart was just a little bit off. I think the front end alignment or something within the front end we had just missed a little bit. So I looked to the inside of Brennan. He holds tough on the outside. I wasn't quite there. And then in this next turn, honestly, this is pretty late. Good on Brennan for keeping his head on a swivel, because that was a late move from me. So I'm back in third, right behind Cody and Ben, who led wire to wire on this one. And then Logan pokes the inside, and I don't do a good job of tucking in behind him, and I lose my momentum here. And so 2 more karts are going to go try to pass me. So I've got the inside line coming to the next turn, and I'm able to hold my position in fourth. So I just didn't quite have the pace to run with the lead pack. And right here, Brennan fires it to the inside, gives me room, and I'm able to carry the momentum. And this was a pre-final, so we weren't going crazy, and he does a wonderful job of leaving me room. And it was a lot of fun racing. Right there, we raced to the flag. I ended up getting fourth, and going to make some changes to the kart and be ready for the final.
Here, the pre-final. Terrible qualifying run. You know, middle of the season, had a slump a little bit. I think it was related to driving, mainly. Not really, but we might as well not sound like we're making a bunch of excuses here, because we weren't good in the driver's seat, but I think we had some issues outside of it as well, and it's going to be something we focus on next year here on the outside of Jeff Munch and following Brian Moore. Pre-final, final, it's a very short course, not overly technical, should be something where I'm strong, and heading into the first turn there, and all of a sudden 2 of them in front of me are off, and boom, magic wand, 2 more. Look at me slicing and dicing through the field. I look like a driver right now. I think I've passed 4 or 5 people. Who knows? I could win this pre-final. If it keeps going like this, there's another victim looking around, quaking in their seat, taking it. Nope, no backing out by the 34 there. He's going low. He got him. Got him. Bring it home, Tad. Bring it home. Nope. Look at somebody coming up behind me. Whenever Kacy does that split screen stuff, you know it's not good, because he's going to that side angle, and there's 2 of them. They're together. I was magical there. I had one of them held off, but 2 of them working against one. It was almost even, but not quite. They had the advantage heading here to the finish line, and what would have been a stellar 6th position improvement instead was mediocre. I think about a 5 position improvement. As we bring it to the line here, I think I finished 7th. Oh, not as good as I thought, 8th. So I moved up 4 spots. So, no complaints. It was a lot of fun out there. See what we can do in the final.
Sportsman pre-final. I was fortunate enough to put it on pole right next to Sean there in the 30, and I brought him down at a crawl because I'm pretty sure I had a waved off start prior to this. So nice and slow. We got the green flag, but it didn't work well for me. Sean there was able to hold the outside, carry momentum into this corner, so I fell back into second. But I was very eager to lead because I'm in Dad's kart this weekend. Mine was just having a little bit of an issue. Thank you, Dad, for letting me drive it, and it was feeling so good. So I wanted to lead from the start, and I was doing just that until I mess up this corner. So that screw up cost me 2 spots here. So I'm going to fall back into third, but still plenty of laps left in this pre-final. Right here behind the 55. and I just misjudge what he's going to do. Like, so right there I got into him, but then I didn't expect him to brake as early as he did. Caused me to get into his bumper, and I got by him because of that. And really, that's not great. Like, I don't like racing that way. It wasn't intentional, but still, like, I mean, I got into him, so that's my fault. Here, I've got a nice run on Blaine, so I popped to his inside, and I'm going to take the lead. So we're down to the final lap here in the pre-final. I go a little defensive into this corner, and I had no idea Sean was on the outside until I started getting into him right there, and it causes all sorts of havoc to be unleashed. Ian there gets up on top of me. He waves like it was his fault. It wasn't his fault. That he had nowhere to go. I just did not know that kart was on the outside, and it started just all of that. So fortunate to come away with fourth.
Welcome back, Stahl Racing fans. Well, I might have got a little early of going, but it was funny. No one cares. I literally just led the whole way, so there's not that much to talk about. Coming up, I got for the finish line, came in first, and I was so proud of myself. I'm winning, so I won 4 races in this year. It's my first year racing. So if you like me, just do a thumbs up. I don't care what you do.
Oh my gosh. Woo! Let's go, Finnley! Woohoo! Every time the fist bumping. Oh my gosh. Oh man. He's gonna have more medals than Kacy pretty soon. Okay. I may have accidentally psyched him out before and reminded him that this is the one that matters and that the person starting in first is the person right behind him in the standings for Sportsman this year. So, oops.
Fourth here for Sportsman, and no changes to the kart, guys. The kart was freaking on point. We did not have a great start on our row, so I didn't lose any spots, but I just didn't gain anything. So we have a lot more laps in the final, and so it was more of a game of being kind of patient and not forcing things here. So coming into the scoreboard here, 05 of Connor, I'm able to get a pretty good exit and duck to his inside, and going to get on by him and move into third. Coming out of this hairpin, I'm able to give Blaine a little bump and then follow him as we go on by Sean there in the 30. So I move into second place here, and then Blaine and myself were able to push away and create a pretty big gap. So this is the last lap, and I had been picking out my spot, and I knew I wanted to make a move coming out of this corner right here. So all I had to do was hit it. But I didn't. Like, I had been nailing that corner the previous 11 times. With that 12th time right there, I screwed it up. And so I lost my opportunity to try to make a move. And so I tried to make a last-ditch effort. It's super hard to make a pass because of this bus stop here. The timing was working out pretty well. Blaine goes to the inside, but then he's going to fade out. I don't think he knew I was there, and I got shoved out. No big deal. That was a risk I took by poking a nose there. So second place, not bad.
Look at Daddy's big car! Yay! Can you reach it? Can you reach it? So give me the wheel. Woo, woo, woo!
All right, so after Cody pushed me to victory in the pre-final, here we are in the heavy final, starting P1, and I'll just tell you right now, this is the most ludicrous start that I've ever seen. The fact that this gets waved green when I was so, out to lunch on this start, it's hard to really tell, but that outside line was pretty far ahead. At least my memory was really far ahead. So I get shuffled back to P3. Cody, my boy, is pushing me P4, and of course my brother Kacy Stahl right there in front. Now here's the issue. Kacy's in no rush to pass Logan because he knows I'm behind him. I'm not going to pass him. So I get kind of screwed here because poor Cody behind me, a good buddy who I also dominate in fantasy football, he wants me to make a move on my brother. He wants to move forward because Cody and I were fast. We were faster than the guys in front of us. We were the two fastest guys on track. Cody's trying to make moves on me, and I'm like, dude, I get it. I know. I'm with you, but that's my brother. I'm trying to wait and then push him past Logan whenever it's go time, and then maybe get the win at the end if I can. But Kacy just stayed there behind Logan, and I'm just sitting there pushing Kacy's bumper so much faster than him. It's not even funny, but we already know that. That's classic. So poor Cody. I'm doing fake things too, like, oh, I'm taking a look, like maybe I'll go wide. I gotta run on him here. Maybe I'll get no. I'm not doing anything, Cody. I'm just pushing my brother, right? If there was a mistake Kacy made, obviously I'm gonna pass him, but I was just an autopilot. I'm riding his bumper as much as I can. But it was a little bit disappointing because I think Cody and I, like if it were me and Cody versus Kacy and Logan, just pure pace, I think we would have had him. But that was unfortunately not the circumstances that we had due to the bad start. But this is an interesting part. So Cody goes out high. Kacy doesn't know he's there. They kind of hook bumpers, and then Cody winds up spinning due to that incident. It was originally ruled a penalty. It was overturned. I think that's hogwash. We need to keep that penalty. Kacy should be punished to the full extent of the law, maybe barred from coming back to Newcastle, but certainly forfeiting the win that he winds up getting. As we go here to the last lap on that straight, I do exactly what any good brother would. Bit of a dive bomb by Logan. I get it. He had no choice but to kind of surrender the position to Kacy and I. He does let me by there because I think he felt bad about kind of cutting off my line. I was maybe a little bit too upset with Logan after the fact, for sure. I gave him a hard time. I think I was pissed because I had to hold Kacy's pocket for 10 laps or 12 laps or whatever. But Logan's a good guy. It was misplaced anger. I was pissed at my brother for beating me because I'm just too good of a brother, guys. That's all it is. I'm just too nice to him. I love the guy. He's a good guy.
Hey guys, Kacy here to give my account of what happened. I didn't have an onboard, so I'm just using Ben's. Mostly I wanted to give an apology to Cody there in the 05. So coming out of this corner, I happened to look back and I saw Ben was to my inside and thought maybe, okay, he's going to try to push me by. But I never felt the bump, and so I had to set back up. I had no idea Cody was there. Hooked his bumper, absolutely wrecked his race. That's why I was like, I put my hand up. I was like, I did not even know he was there. So yeah, I mean, it was a racing deal, but Cody, he's a buddy, and just feel bad that his race got ruined because of it. The rest of this race went really well. Got a win. Racing with Ben was just awesome, guys. Like I've mentioned it before, but it's one of my favorite things. And to get another win for the gentleman that puts me in his cart just made it an awesome day. I can't thank him enough. And again, he wants to remain anonymous, so I don't mention his name. But I sincerely appreciate everything that he does to put me in his cart. And anytime I can deliver good results, it just makes it that much sweeter.
So after all that work in the pre-final, I'm starting 8th, right there behind Jeff Munch. Jeff had a good year, improved a lot over last year, was right there running with the top 5, kind of what I wanted to do and was not able to. So we're going to have to make some adjustments next year, see if we can't do what Jeff did. But get off to a start there, Brian to my left, and able to hold him off for the moment. Heading down, this is as close as I get to some of these folks. Didn't have the carnage there like we did in the pre-final, but I get wide of John Ewing there, and really should have just brought it in behind him a little bit closer. Ended up not costing me, and I just chased John the whole race. And he showed me some racecraft. There were quite a few places where I maybe had him. But overall, John's just a better driver and was able to hold me off. Right there with him, and really should have had him. I think if John was in my cart, he'd have beat me in his. So got to fix that again. Brought it home 7th, moved up 1 spot. So, it could have been worse. It was a lot of fun. We'll go get him next time.
Where's Grandpa? Where is he? Oh, there he is! Did you really find him? That was really impressive, Angel. Yep, that's Grandpa. Where is he? Where is he? Yeah, you're right. That's Grandpa. You know it even in his helmet.
Hey guys, this is Xander. So there's a electric series running over there, and earlier in the year I got to do some driver coaching, and so I coached his class, and it was just filled with like great kids. And Xander's been at every event, so been fortunate enough to see him, and so he stopped by, and just wanted to make an appearance on the vlog. And starting on pole, kid got pole today, so good job, Xander.
All thanks to your coaching.
Oh yes, thank you, Maddie. All thanks to his coaching. He was saying that before, basically. So we're on grid for Ben's CIK race here, and he made one change here. Changed his bar. He went a little harder to give him a little more front bite and free up the rear, because he was complaining the front just wasn't quite biting. We did the heavy race and he freaking loved it.
All right, so couple things to know. First of all, I did make the bar change. I've got the harder bar in, gives me a lot more front stability. That seemed to work really well for this race. Clay starting my right, AJ starting behind me. Classic AJ. I beat this guy all the time in fantasy football, and who would have thought I'm beating him in go-karting too. But anyway, not a great start for me. You'll see here as we go down to turn 5, AJ kind of is going to my inside, and in that fantasy football group chat, it's always poking fun at the guys such as Jamie and myself who apparently hang on the outside. So what am I doing here? Not trying to hang on the outside, right? And what does that get me? I get a bunch of guys behind me smoking my bumper, so I get really lose a spot I probably shouldn't lose to the 6 here, because I am now, you know, everybody's piled up right behind me. He wants to get by, so that number 6 does get by me. He then was holding me up, so I got by him again. I was then able to push away from everybody else to, on my own Herculean effort, catch up to AJ and Clay pushing ahead. I'm going to kind of talk ahead here because the camera does die, unfortunately. So I get into Clay a little bit going into turn 1 here. I feel horrible about it. Clay's a good dude, always been. I mean, he races you hard on the track, but he's a good dude off the track. A friend who we've been racing with for a long time. So here, I go to the inside. He's trying to let me by, I think. And then, unfortunately, bumpers collide. Right there, we just snag bumpers, and that sucks. I don't like that. Clay's a good dude. And I definitely was a big reason why his race was screwed. I apologize, and he was class act about it. He just, you know, he was like, hey, all good, I owe you one. But then my race got screwed because somebody doesn't know how to drive, and no accountability taken. But it's, you know, it's a kid. What are you gonna do? They just don't know how racing etiquette is done. So I finished 8th. I think I probably should have finished, like, I don't know, 1st. I was fast as balls, but hey, we'll take it. You know, somebody wants to act like they were fast and make a dive bomb move at the last second and then blame me for their dive bomb moves. Hey guys, it's not holding the outside if somebody dive bombs you at the last second on the last lap. So yeah, not my greatest day, but you heard all about it already. It was a fun race, and heck of a job for Gary Lawson and the stealth chassis that Mark Steele has created and supplied us with. Guys, I don't even frickin' race anymore, and I was tracking down 2 guys that race every weekend on my own. You know, I'm out there in pole, I'm doing everything in heavy where I'm winning heats. Like, shout out to those guys. So, yeah, phenomenal job by Mark for the product and support he provides, and then Gary Lawson, the absolute best there is when it comes to engine making and a number of things. So, thankful for both those guys to be in our corner.
It's you.